So Britney Spears put up a video of her singing in the bathroom. And most people saw this as an opportunity to really gripe on Britney Spears' voice and her singing choices. But as a vocal coach, I actually got a lot of information from it. And as an overall musician, I heard some ideas that Britney was giving that actually informed me a little bit about how she perceives music. And I wanted to share it with you. So let's map out Britney Spears' bathroom runs. Hello everybody, O'Neil Gerald Donald here. I got a very interesting message from somebody who watches the channel, iComplexity. He asked me to cover a particular video, and let me just read what he wrote. He says, so I think there is an O'Neil conversation, whatever that is, an O'Neil conversation somewhere in the recent Britney Spears video with her singing in the bathroom. I know her vocals are everywhere, but I think you would bring an interesting, non-sarcastic take on the video. Oh, really? I don't know what it would sound like. I just would like to have the Britney convo with someone who knows what they're talking about. I don't know what you're gonna do with that. I just felt compelled to drop that in your spirit. And drop it in my spirit, he did. I went and I watched the video and then I understood a little bit of what he was getting at. I saw Britney Spears singing very, very loudly. Because there is such an abrupt start and because there are a whole bunch of things going on, it's a little pitchy. A lot of people took the opportunity to laugh at Britney Spears. Now, even though it wasn't perfect, I was really able to hear a lot of musical intelligence and I was able to hear a lot about Britney Spears' voice that I really had never expected before. And so I thought it would be an interesting conversation to have on this channel. So you guys know how I do on this channel. I'm gonna take my wife's iPad, shout out to Maya, and I'm gonna map out as much as I can of the run. Now, there's a lot of notes that aren't necessarily distinguished, but there's a general shape and a general idea that I want to capture in this video. So let's start with the first ideas of what Britney Spears is giving and let's see what we can get from that. I want to kind of first talk a little bit about the makeup of Britney Spears' instrument. Throughout all of Britney Spears' career, we've heard a very small portion of what Britney Spears' voice is. We're only used to hearing Britney Spears' voice a certain way. It was just a particular style. It was a smaller range. But here, we're getting more of an understanding of the fullness of Britney Spears' range for the first time. Is it perfect? No. Is it pitchy? Yes. But what I'm hearing here is a very large idea that spans actually 2 octaves. Essentially, we're getting from F sharp 5, just right about there. So yeah. Oh no, I'm not even gonna try these ones. So that's where we're starting, and the idea ends on an F sharp 3. Oh. The beginning and the ending of this run give us a clue as to the key that she's thinking in. It seems like she's thinking in something related to F sharp. We're not gonna say whether it's major, we're not gonna say whether it's minor yet, but these two, the top and the bottom, are giving us a clue, and especially with the way that she's organizing the lines, she's thinking in F sharp. So let's start to map out the notes that Britney Spears is doing. First of all, we're getting some pulses. Okay, so we got 5 little pulses that are going on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So these pulses are telling me, hey, this note is important. On that 5th pulse, there's a little bit more of the note that she's pulsing on. So it's kind of like a yeah. So yeah. Right? So I'm gonna just erase this right here, this last little pulse. Yeah. Right around there, that's where we're kind of getting confused with pitch. But where she ends up in terms of the slide that comes a little bit later, right? Yeah. It's actually the 5 of the key that she's thinking in. So I'm gonna build this idea as if that is where she's aiming, because it is. So that's around a B4, right? And then we get the slide. So it's not as much of a slide as I thought. It slides to that C sharp. I did mention that those are important notes, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually color the notes that are important in different colors. So just like I said, the note that she starts on and the note that she ends on are the one of the key. And because I'm hearing like some E's, I'm assuming that she's working in F sharp minor. She's working in a natural minor key. That's gonna be an important note. But now this, yeah, right? That's actually going to be, it's just another important chord tone for us to get that full F sharp minor. I'll play it while she's singing so you can kind of hear. Right? So for me, it's almost as if a band is holding like a, my point is, this note is important. Now, because I'm a musician and because I'm a vocal coach, I can listen deeper to actually hear the ideas that Britney Spears is going for. And if I were to work with her, I would be able to help her shape her sound so that her ideas can really be heard. And there's a lot of you that are singing and, you know, you have these ideas for improvisations, for runs, and even for songs, but you're not really getting your ideas out there. And when you do get them out there, they're misunderstood, or you're really not able to get the idea across the way that you want to. So that's why I want you to go to reclaimyourvoice.ca/masterclass and watch my free masterclass, because there you're gonna get some amazing tools that are gonna help you take your voice from being unsure and you from being insecure in your voice to being that person that's an unforgettable vocalist. Because an unforgettable vocalist is gonna really be able to get their ideas out there and they're understood by the audience that they're singing to. So I want you to go to reclaimyourvoice.ca/masterclass and watch that training so that you can get some free information that will help you to propel into your future as a singer. Now back to Britney Spears. So let's see if we can get the rest of the idea. Yeah, yeah. That's when I started to be like, oh wait, yeah. And even the fact that she would rest and stick on that note, like if you were to play the chord on it, right? It kind of insinuates the 7 of the minor key over that F sharp. Oh, and to me, I was like, okay, I think that she's thinking a little bit more intelligently than we're giving her credit for. And that note is a G sharp 4, right? Yeah. And then to increase the inference of that chord over the F sharp, we got the yeah. But then, and that's the next place where she goes. Right? See? Oh, yeah, oh. So I'll just draw it here. Oh, that's kind of what I'm hearing there. Oh, ooh. Yeah. Ooh. So, and we get a little bit of those pulses again, telling me that she knows that this note is important. Ooh. And there's that C sharp again. Ooh. Oh. 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 And that's what brings us to the F sharp 3. So again, with these chord tones, we're actually getting a clue that Britney Spears is thinking in an F sharp minor type thing. I had to do a little bit of digging to kind of hear what was going on. But for me, I was like, wait a minute. This girl is intelligent and she hears music on a much deeper level than we've given her credit for. Now, if we're talking about tone and just an overall navigation of her registers, first of all, I think that it's really cool how we're hearing Britney Spears experiment with her mixed voice. It seems like she's getting a handle of, or has had a handle of, gliding across her breaks pretty smoothly. I'm hearing an evenness in the tone. Now, what makes the tone sound a little bit more jarring is just the tongue tension that's there. Right? If you look at her tongue is a little bit locked. If we freed the tongue tension, a lot of her vowels would have sounded a little bit more normal. They would have sounded more like sounds that we are used to. Now, if I were to work with Britney Spears, I would remove that tension so that all of the ideas that she's getting across, that we're seeing, that I'm plotting here, we would be able to hear those ideas come across more smoothly. Now, the essential thing that I'm going for in mapping out this run is just really hearing that there's a lot more to music and there's a lot more to a singer than what meets the ears. Sometimes our greatest singing is on the other side of a few doors that have some locks on them, so to speak. So if great singing were right here and singing that needs improvement were right here, it's almost as if there are doors on the way to great singing that are locked. And my job as a vocal coach is to help you to unlock those doors so that you can actually get to great singing. Great singing is not necessarily inaccessible, especially when somebody already has the ear for it. It's just a matter of matching the mechanics of your physical body, of your voice, to match what you're hearing in your head. I feel like the small part that I got to kind of, musically think through helped us to understand that there's so much more to Britney Spears than what meets the ears. There's so much more to any singer than what meets the ears. And especially with, everything that Britney Spears has gone through, I actually am very delighted to hear her start to use her voice in a free way, in the way that she wants to. I feel like this video was an example of her taking ownership over her own voice and having agency and license over her body and over the part of her that she's loved to use all of this time. And I think that when we move to first make fun instead of seek to understand, we can actually set ourselves up to align ourselves with the people that would want to constrict Britney more, rather than celebrating the fact that Britney Spears is using her freedom to express herself. So I think this was a great opportunity to look a little deeper and see a little bit of what's going on in somebody's head. And if you want to see more of that, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, because this is the place where we reclaim your voice, reclaiming my voice. And also feel free to comment below and tell me what you thought of what Britney was doing, and tell me what you're starting to understand now that we've kind of been able to dig into the music a little bit more and hear what she's thinking. Anyway, I'll see you guys in another video. Bye everyone.